Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
I'm retired about 4 years now, and I have a sister who's been estranged from the family for a very long time. And I've been sending her about $700 a month for about 10 years.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
Yeah. Well, she's never really had a job. She lives in another state out west. And currently, my wife is about to retire. And the source that I'm pulling this money from is going to dry up.
Oh, man.
And so I'm in a spot, and everybody told me I was going to be in this spot. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm not sure I can sustain her lifestyle.
You can't.
She's never had a job.
Yeah, I know, but Roger, she's never had a job because she's never had to.
Right, yeah. Well, she's never worried about tomorrow.
Well, she hasn't had to because you did for a decade.
Yeah, right.
10 years is a long time.
Man.
No, it is a long time. If you add it up, plus the incidentals along the way, it's a huge chunk of money in my world. I was a modest income guy, but I kind of did the right things that allowed me to retire comfortably.
Awesome.
And I have a little royalty source, but that royalty source is going to dry it up, and that's what I use to fund this.
So that means it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess my question for you guys is, there has to be social services that actually can step in for somebody who's 75 years old and really doesn't have means. And that's where I'm kind of falling short and trying to discover those sources.
Yeah, they're there. She could be on Medicaid or, what have you, but don't you think that's hers to discover?
I'd like to think so, but in some ways, she just doesn't have that ability to figure this stuff out.
Is something going on? Does she have any disability mentally that's developmental? Is something that's causing her, medically speaking, to not be able to do these things that you know about?
No, there's not really that. I think it's more of someone who's just been naive their whole life about this kind of things, maybe doing end runs around the system, whatever it might be.
And somebody who, for the majority of her adult life, has had other people just stepping in and taking care of it.
Well, I won't say that's the case. She's been married a few times, and she currently has a husband that's not well. They've always seemed to put things together in a very simple way.
So she has a husband.
Let me reverse this. If you called her and said, I have a hard conversation to have with you. Let me know in the next week when we can have this conversation. And you say, hey, I've been sending you $700 a month for the last 10 years. In 60 days and 2 more months that I'm unable to make those payments anymore. And so I'm not going to be able to send any more money. And so I'm giving you 2 months notice. I've been doing this for a long, long time. So I'm giving you 2 months or even 3 months notice. And I'm going to send you, I Googled this for you. You can do this also, but I'm Googling Florida resources for elderly folks. And I'm just assuming that's where she lives.
Well, actually, she was out in Nevada.
Okay, Nevada resources. 618 does another. And I wish you the absolute best.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Does she call you on a weekly basis and say, hey, I need help with resources?
No, she doesn't. She's not a guilt trip type person in this thing. Okay,
then why do you take yourself on guilt trips that she's not asking you to go on?
True. I will say that, and I think it's a little bit of loyalty to her. Okay. Although I've seen her like 3 times in 30 years. It's a little bit of trying to be the good guy in this whole thing.
I know, but you've been solving a problem that it sounds like nobody ever even asked you to solve.
Well, no, true too. I stepped in, at a lower amount of money several years ago, and of course life gets more expensive, so I increased it. And I did. If I still had the wherewithal to supply her and keep her whole, I would do it. Now, things are changing. That's the point, Yeah. Around me and my family.
You can do what you want, but
Roger, I don't think we can help you, my guy, because you want to do this. And as long as you want to keep doing this, you're going to keep doing it. Like you just said, if you had more money to keep doing it, you'd keep doing it. And so
True.
I think we're at a bit of an impasse in the way that you feel the need to do this. Like you said, your sister, she's not coming to you saying, help me figure this out. You're just up and doing it. And at that point, then yeah, it's just your choice. We're not mad at you. But since you called and asked, how do I tell my sister that I can't be her lifelong safety net? We're telling you, you just up and call her and say, hey, I know I've done this for 10 years. The money I was giving you is running out. And not only is it running out, but I've also realized I can't keep doing this. You're going to have to figure out a way to come up with that $700 on your own. And it truly is, the conversation truly is that simple. I know it's harder to actually play out, but the bigger work is for you to figure out why you're having a hard time letting this go.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Can I ask a question?
Right, yeah.
I have an inkling. I don't know if I'm right, but just listening to you talk, and John is here, so he'll set us both straight. But just listening to you talk, it almost makes me wonder if a long time ago something happened that you felt like you were supposed to be there and you weren't, and you're just making up for it. I don't know the home you guys grew up in. I don't know anything like that. But I just wonder, are you trying to make up for something? Is there something that your sister should have been there for and you weren't there? I don't know. And you don't have to answer on this call, but it just sounds like there's something else there that's nagging at you and that's eating at you personally.
No, it's a fair question. I think the basic root of it all is she's family. And it's like, what desperation she'll go into if this money's not there. It's like pulling the plug, saying, okay, before when I've talked to her about it, she goes, yeah, and this is the guilt thing. Well, I guess I'm going to have to sleep in my car.
Well, where's her husband? You said he's ill. Is he just not able to contribute?
No, they're not at a point where she's never had a job, so getting a job would be very difficult for her at 74. And he's ill where he really can't work. So, they're living, and this is the point,
listen, if you want to be generous, to John's point, we're never going to stop you from being generous. If you feel, hey, I'm called to this is what I feel like doing. But there is a component to this that you've also got to be able to afford that.
Right.
And you said that you set yourself up to be able to retire, but you also said the source that you were pulling from to fund this is drying up. So the question you have to ask yourself is there another source that I can pull from that's not going to take away from my family's ability to retire and be comfortable in my legacy? And if you can do that, and if you want to do that, you know what? That's your bag. I do think that you're enabling her. I truly do believe that based on what you're saying.
And you can't enable somebody and then complain that they are...
failure to launch.
That's right.
Yeah.
If you're going to keep funding it, you have to do that with a glad, cheerful heart and stop talking bad about your sister.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.